Hello, everyone. How's it going? We are back with our Lotro adventure. Just continuing our captain. Seeing how much leveling we can get done before before Mordor comes out. And actually, this probably might be... No, we'll have another week of leveling after this, but next week is Virtues, where we're just going to make sure that our Champion and Guardian have all their virtues caught up. And Lore Master, I guess. But my Lore Master should be fine for the most part. Alright, my allergies are really bad today, so I might be sneezing and muting myself, blowing my nose, and all that fun stuff. Don't know why they're so bad today, but they're pretty bad today. We also have a massive experience buff right now, so we truly might just focus on the questing and then moving on. Because, what is it? Yeah, it's 100% more experience right now, so we will be leveling quite quickly. And we may be even over-leveling in certain scenarios, so...
If you will help us, then do so.
Yeah, that was almost 150,000 experience with our blue bar of experience. Well, they changed the release schedule again of the Legendary servers, so now it's Mordor we get in September still. We get September, and then all of October, and then in, was it like November, the first or second week of November is 120. December is 140, or December is 130, and then I think did they say 140 is now yeah, December 16th is 130. February 10th is now, so they're giving us now 2 months at 130, which is fine. That's a lot better. I still think they should just not bother with 140 and give us...
If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone.
Whatchamacallit? And just give us 130 for the rest of the time. But, oh well. It's still an improvement. Getting 2 months, well, December and January, getting 2 months for 130 is better than 1 month. Now all we need is, I think they need to give us a virtue buff, virtue, experience, reputation, crafting. Like give us like what they did with Rohan. I think they should just give us that starting with Mordor, because we're getting 2 months basically for each level cap. So just make it as fast as possible, and then I would argue even like a ancient script boost or something, because we're going to go through multiple different level caps so quickly with multiple different increases on our
I
LIs.
see the question in your eyes. Enough words. I've spoken plainly and I have nothing more to say.
If you have nothing more to say, then fine.
I did not think to find Ellen Fremedon so cold. We should aid her if we can.
You could definitely handle the wraiths better now that we have that armor, which is nice. We need wards, and then just find the one kid south. Oh, which we missed actually, but that's fine. We have to come back anyways.
That is the Dark Door, and beyond are the paths where the dead are said to walk.
Oh, I want to sneeze, but my brain won't let me. Ugh. My nose. All right, where's this random kid?
I am not supposed to speak with strangers.
Damn, this kid has almost as much health as I do. That's insane. This is a beefy kid.
What are these? What have you brought me? Are these teeth?
Hey, sleaze. How's it going?
What are these? What have you brought me? Are these teeth? There is work to be done here.
Oh yeah, that's better.
If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone. If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone. If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone.
Do I not have my... Oh, it's about to run out anyways. Okay, well, let's do this then. Let's map here. Need to get our fancy subscriber inventory item. Thank you. Discovered you a couple days ago from your best race class combo. Just started again. It helped you, or I'm glad it helped you. Yeah, I figured that was a good video to make. As a lot of that information just isn't out there. And some people care about that race class combo more than other people. So I just figured, yeah, that was a good video to make. So I'm glad it was helpful.
Something for me? What can I do for you?
All right, now we map back. Do we have two? No, still one. What class and race did you end up picking?
We have delivered the message. It is now time to
Ooh,
move
yeah,
on to
definitely
the
need a
next
new
stage of our duty. Éomer wished for us to travel to the home he left behind.
I tried a couple like Stout Axe Brawler, Beorning, River Hobbit LM, and Captain. Leveled all to 30, and now I'm thinking about which one I want to do. Ooh, those are all good choices. I haven't played much of Brawler or Beorning yet. I've leveled them a little bit, but they are.
If not, be gone.
They look really fun. And then yeah, this is Captain right now. Captain's cool. Personally, I think I like War Master a little bit more than Captain. But Captain also is a good good tanking class as well. Which is kind of why I made my Captain. It's just having a tank available if I wanted it. Mm-hmm. I want to play more of a support class, so I can't really decide between yellow LM or red captain. Ooh. See, both are so important to raid and dungeon scenarios. LM works because after a certain point, you can almost play the yellow lore master as almost a off healer type, while also doing the classic support things of like CCing and debuffs and all that kind of stuff. And then once you get like really comfortable with the class, you can also still pump out a good amount of damage at later levels. And then while playing solo, you have the option of just switching to red line and kind of just power leveling through everything, because it's really easy. You just run around blowing things up with lightning and moving on. Red Captain, the leveling process I think is a little bit slower, but Red Captain just has so much utility, and has a lot of, I guess, unique circumstances in raids and groups, where you're rezzing, you're healing, you're buffing everyone. It's just a more like unique rotation while also doing damage. So there's like a little bit more nuance to it, as opposed to yellow LM, where yellow LM is a lot more simple. So I guess it just depends on, yeah, what you're looking for after that point.
There is work to be done here. If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone. If you will help us, then do so. If not, be gone.
It's hard to decide. I really like both, and I actually really enjoy the leveling with Captain. Implementation of landscape fearless with purple. Oh yeah, with the landscape difficulty. Yeah, especially once you hit level 30 on Captain, it does feel really good. Sorry, my phone autocorrects because I'm typing English and German. That's why. You're trying to type in English, but your phone is trying to autocorrect it in German for you. That's really funny. Phone's like, what are you doing? It's like you're speaking a different language. We're trying to speak. The phone wants to speak German. What's wrong with you? I love that. Well, that's cool. There's a lot of European folks that come to the stream. Got a couple of Germans, some from Belgium, Denmark, Sweden, France, and there's someone that came from Spain the other day too. And then I'm over here living in Canada, on the other side of the world. Nope. How do I get back up? Around this way? Oh, probably since Kevin the ghost went this way. Now we go back this way. Still can't decide. It's really annoying. I mean, I would even play tank, but I have no experience with the raids or dungeons or mechanics or bosses, etc. Well, to me, that's kind of a fun part of learning tanking. But yeah, I can definitely see it can definitely be intimidating for sure, because you have no idea how the the dungeons go. For the most part, honestly, there'll be a couple of areas where tanking could be a challenge, but later on in the game, I think it's very straightforward. Like, it just, maybe it takes a single fight to understand, but it's a lot of just the standard, make sure you interrupt the boss or you're gonna get hit with something. Don't stand in the fire puddles or whatever's on the ground, right? And then so long as you have aggro of things, then it's not that big of a deal. There's not very many scenarios where it's like, oh, take this boss and go stand in a specific spot, because if you don't, then the whole raid dies, kind of thing. Like, it doesn't get that... Lotro isn't that extreme with its tanking mechanics, which I think is kind of nice. Like, they try to make it as new player friendly when it comes to tanking. Raids will be more challenging, obviously, than dungeons, but for the most part, dungeons are quite straightforward and easy to pick up and learn. That's also true. Yeah, everyone always expects the tank to know everything. Everyone always forgets that sometimes the tank it's their first time tanking ever. And they may not understand the fights yet. They'll just take some time. But yeah, that's fair. Play another role, and then you can kind of learn how the tanking would work from that perspective. I am a main tank for years in ESO and SWTOR. Ooh, I love SWTOR. I never tanked in SWTOR, actually. I think that's the one role I didn't do in Star Wars. I did a lot of DPS and then I did healing, but I never tanked. Okay, we need one more banner, so let's go down this way. I really want to go back to SWTOR at some point. I really miss the Star Wars world, but so much other stuff to play. But there is that new Star Wars game coming out. Not that it's an MMO, but it will be nice to go back to Star Wars. Alrighty, let's get the heck out of here. At least, I think if you play Captain, it'll be easy to switch to tank if you just ever decide to tank. But I don't know, maybe Lore Master is a good change of pace for you. Yes, LMs are always needed. Not only are they needed for their damage because they do really good damage, just their support role in groups and raids is just it. They're a must-have in every raid scenario, and if you have them in a dungeon scenario, then it just makes doing the dungeon a lot easier, especially on higher tiers or higher difficulties. Because there's so much value that a lore master brings. Every group
There
kind
is
of
work
wants
to be done here. There is work to be done here.
I am afraid of what is happening to these lands.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Going back to Star Wars in November or December when the new update drops. Ooh. So levels get increased, new end gear gearing system, and finally a landscape difficulty like in Lotro. Oh, that's super exciting. I had no idea. What's the end game gearing system gonna be like? And the landscape difficulty sounds super interesting. Because you can still almost play whatever you want, but then because you always have your companions, right? So if you want like your companion to heal or tank or whatever, it might even add more value to that companion stat that you have. Because honestly, yeah, it feels like companions don't really have a whole lot of value while leveling, just because leveling is so easy.
need of your aid.
There's just a couple of scenarios where they come in handy. That's really fun. Do I not have a quest for Middlemead? Oh, here we go. Yes, I do. Damn, I wish I had more time for games. Because of course that around that time is also when Lord of the Rings gets their expansion that I want to play. Oh, that sounds fun though. Yeah, they showed it in their live stream. Even max level companions struggled. That was fun to see. Oh, nice. Nice. I wonder what kind of rewards they're giving out then.
brings you to these lands? Will you aid the Rohirrim? Will you aid the Horse Lords?
I hope we will find aid in time.
The Dunlendings rally to the banner of the White Hand. Welcome and well met, my friend. What business have you with the Rohirrim? The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Be right back. I'm just gonna run to the washroom. Alrighty, I'm back.
Welcome, my friend. What brings you to these lands? The Rohirrim have need of your services.
Battery died. Oh no. Decided to go with Lore Master. Nice. Yeah, Lore Master's the main class I play right now. I just wanted to chop this tree, dude. You didn't need to fight me.
Aid the Horse Lords. Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us? The Rohirrim have need of your services. Your aid is welcome, friend. Hail, friend. May I have a moment of your time? The Rohirrim will need your aid.
The Rohirrim will need your aid.
Welcome. Stay a moment and speak with me. The Rohirrim have need of your services.
For virtues, I would go with wit. For finesse, rest mitigations, is that fine? I mean, it's better for yellow, right? Yeah, so... so the priority ones are for sure fidelity, because of the tactical mitigation and the vitality, right, for more health. Then you'll want fortitude for more morale and crit defense, which is really important in raid, especially on a yellow lore master, because you're so squishy. There can be raid scenarios where you have to be grouped up with the fellowship and just take damage from a mechanic or a boss hit or something like that. So the crit defense just helps in you surviving those hits. Honor for the same reason as fidelity, where you want as much morale as possible, you get tactical mitigation with it, and you get the crit defense. So those three are kind of like almost the must-haves, I would say. After that, you kind of have some stuff to play with. Wit can be a good option because of the finesse, like you said, and it's really good later on in higher level caps where you need the finesse, because if you can't land your debuffs, then you're not doing it. Tolerance is good because it also just gives you more tactical mitigation if you need it. The resistance rating is also nice. The physical mitigation you don't need, but the resistance rating is okay. If you want more morale, there's still justice, which also gives you tactical mitigation still. And then there's loyalty, which gives you vitality or morale. Some armor rating, which is okay, and the incoming healing is kind of nice, especially on the lore master, because you'll be doing a lot of healing on yourself as well. So that can be really good. But if you wanted, there's a specific mechanic with Yellow Lore Master where after you've crit with skills, like if you landed, like your heal was a crit or your damage ability was a crit, after doing that so many times, you've kind of enhanced one of your debuffs or damaging abilities. So if you want more crit rating to kind of like increase the chance that you activate that ability, then confidence is also really good because it gives you increased crit rating, but it also increases your finesse. So it kind of depends on how you want to build your virtues, and then you kind of build your gear around your virtues later, because virtues are a more long-term investment. So you kind of want to plan out which virtues you want and then have your gear either support those virtues or build off of them, kind of thing, or balance out your stats. But yeah, fidelity, fortitude, and honor for sure. And then from that point, you can decide, do you want more morale and tactical mitigation, and then some finesse? Do you want just finesse, so you do confidence and wit? Do you just want maximum amount of morale, and then you use justice and loyalty, and you just have a massive health pool? So gives you some stuff to play with. Obviously, you can kind of work towards 7 virtues and then just kind of rotate them based on what you need, or what your gear's giving you, kind of thing. But that's what I would recommend. Are those 7 or 8 virtues, and then you can kind of decide from there what you want to do.
What brings you to these lands?
You will never need physical mitigations, which is as a Yellow Lore Master, because the armor you acquire, whether it's crafted gear, quest gear, or just or like just gear from dungeons and stuff like that, that armor will give you more than enough physical mitigation, so you never need to worry about physical mitigation. It's only tactical mitigation that you have to worry about. Yeah, no problem. Virtues can be tricky and a little bit overwhelming because there's just a lot of them. And then obviously it gets more intense where so each virtue has a passive bonus. So all defensive virtues, the ones that have the shield, they give you a passive bonus of morale or health, which means even if the virtue isn't in one of your 5 slots, you still get that passive morale. So another thing to kind of look at with Yellow Lore Master is maxing out all of the defensive virtues, because each defensive virtue will still give you more morale, even if they're not slotted. It doesn't need You don't need to hit a cap for like physical or tactical defense. So it's not for every level. There's only this page will only show you will give you the breakdown at certain level caps. But if you scroll down, and sorry it won't be in German. Maybe you can convert it to German if that makes it easier for yourself. But at the bottom of this page is this kind of like a cap that you can hit with your stats, and it shows that if you're wearing light armor or you're a light armor class, your cap is a specific number when compared to a medium or a heavy armor class. And it breaks that down on what the number would be for physical, for tactical mitigations, depending on your armor class, and then your like mastery, crit defense, and all that kind of stuff. Like it does break down the stats. You don't need to hit all of these caps, and of course the numbers are going to be different depending on your level. But what always stays the same is the percentage. So for tactical or physical mitigation, right, my reduces incoming physical damage is 57%. The cap for heavy armor is 60%. So at this stage in the game, I'm 3% off of cap. Not that that really matters, but that gives you something to work with, and kind of just learn from or watch, rather than, at level 160, right, I have to reach as a light armor 200,000 rating for a light armor class. But that doesn't help you if you're level 40 or 30 or 50 or whatever, right? So what you can look at is the 40%, and as long as it's at 40%, then you've technically reached the cap for your level. Like, no matter what level you are, 25% is always the cap crit rating. 200% is always the cap mastery rating. So you can never do more damage than 200%. There's a couple of scenarios that kind of go around that, where you can go above the cap, which is where like the legendary items come into play. Like, legendary items can kind of make you go above certain caps with mitigations and crit rating and mastery. Your class traits can make you go above the cap sometimes. But generally speaking, it's just, the number that's on that website is what you want to aim for. If you go above that, then great. There we go. More bleed damage. Let's go. There are a lot of stats in this game. Well, see, there you go, though, right? Yeah, so at level 19, and you're just in some basic gear, you've kind of almost reached your reduced incoming physical damage, right? And that's just from basic armor. So that, yeah, the physical armor or physical damage is really easy to cap out on, especially on a light armor class. It is truly just tactical mitigation is tricky, but even though there's a lot of stats themselves to look at, it's you increase those stats by mainly increasing your main stat. So for a lore master, if you hover over will, it will say, as a lore master, will increases your physical and tactical mastery, your block rating, your crit rating, your physical and tactical mitigation, and maybe your parry rating as well. I mean, I was reading it off of Captain, but basically it'll just say that it'll make it seem like will is really important. So as long as you increase your will, you're increasing the majority of your stats. It's kind of how it works. There's a couple of weird things for Lore Master where agility will actually give you more crit rating than will. Might gives you more finesse than your other stats. There's a couple of weird scenarios like that, but you don't have to worry about that too much. And later levels, as you get closer and closer to level cap, it slowly becomes more irrelevant because you actually get to just slot which specific stat you want in your armor. You can be like, oh, I just flat out need finesse, so you can just put finesse in your armor kind of thing. Where do I want to go? Oh, right. We gotta go get the horses. Yeah, you can socket stats and then balance it out off of what you need or what you currently got, which is another reason why virtues are interesting, right? Because you can pick the virtues that you want to go for, because it does take a while to kind of farm them out, and then you kind of socket your stats and your armor based on the virtues. But then maybe as your armor changes, maybe you'll want to swap a couple of virtues around. But the important thing, and this is also why I recommend the fidelity, fortitude, and honor to start, is you can never have too much morale, right? There is no such thing as a health or a morale cap. So if you're putting your virtues towards morale, then you never need to like worry about it being a wasted slot or a wasted stat. But if you only ever focused on, let's say, will, right? Like your priority stat, your damaging stuff, if all of your virtues were dedicated towards damage, then eventually, once you get all of your raid armor, you're gonna be overcapped on damage, and you'll be overcapped on crit rating and stuff like that. So then you have to switch your virtues, and if you didn't farm up your morale virtues, then your morale's just going to be a lot lower than other people who did work towards the morale, and now you're sitting with virtues that are kind of almost half useless because you're not gaining the full benefit from them. So that's also why I think, at least to start, the morale route for virtues is the safe way to go. And then all your other virtues can kind of be like secondary to it, as you know, oh, my morale virtues are capped. Now I can start working towards some other things just to give you
What brings
options
you to these
later.
lands?
Oh, nice. Max out fidelity for now. We can go to fortitude next.
What brings you to these lands?
Why are you bothering me?
No, don't fight me. Okay, there we go. Alrighty, well, I think this should complete. Well, I guess, yeah, there's the one instance quest after. Then, yeah, then we can move on to the next area.
I'm afraid of what is happening to these lands.
What brings you to these lands?
Our mission is dire. Greetings, friend of the Rohirrim. aid the Horse Lords?
Nope, don't want any of that armor.
Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Welcome, my friend.
What brings you to these lands? Will you aid the Horse Lords? Our success depends upon our strength. Will you aid us?
Having seen his people ride to safety at Aedoros, Thane Magla awaits death in his mead hall as the White Hand prepares to raise Middlemead.
No, you must fight, Thane. Let me tell you a story of where I rallied the people and had hope. You must challenge Saruman. Lead the people.
What brings you to these lands?
I love that this dude betrayed this town because he was promised riches or whatever. Not only did he die, but also this town that he was, going to rule is now just burned to the ground? So what was he supposed to rule? Yeah, I will help Saruman destroy this town and rule it. But you don't have a town to rule anymore. I think I will go with wit, fidelity, fortitude, honor, and tolerance for now. Very nice, very nice. I think that's a good choice. Yeah, and then actually if you ever come to a point where you've reached the tactical mitigation cap, tolerances are really easy to get rid of, and you can swap it out for more damage or more morale or whatever.
I have need of your aid. I need your help, my friend.
Will you aid the Rohirrim?
I hit level cap for virtues fast because I make every deed in the zone. Or you complete every deed in the zone where you currently are at. Which should I also focus on? Confidence and loyalty, maybe? Confidence, loyalty. You could do justice instead of, or as a nice swap for tolerance if you needed to, as it'll like slightly lower your tactical mitigation but give you more morale. But loyalty would also just kind of be the reverse of that, where you're dropping tolerance or you're dropping tactical mitigation for just way more morale. Confidence isn't bad. Basically, if you wanted to have the swap of, okay, I don't need tactical mitigation, and you just wanted morale, loyalty would be the way to go. If you didn't want the morale and you wanted more crit, then yeah, confidence is the way to go. But I think, yeah, justice or loyalty would probably be a good swap for tolerance when needed, or as like a good secondary set of virtues, I think. Confidence, though, is good if you decide to play Red Lore Master at any point as well. That's also something to consider. All of your virtues are good for Red Lore Master, but if you do decide to play in another scenario, then confidence is really good over loyalty. Or if you have the tactical mitigation, then you can replace it
Our success depends upon our strength.
over the tolerance
Will
as
you aid
well.
us?
They're easy. What sucks is I wish the virtues were easier to maintain at cap as you leveled. Sadly, they, as time goes on, they actually get harder and harder to cap because the amount of virtue experience you need grows exponentially, but the sources that you have to level up your virtues doesn't increase. It kind of stays the same. So it gets a little bit tricky later on, which is why that early investment is so important.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Yeah, you gotta choose wisely. Yeah, leveling in red is definitely really useful, and then having confidence will just help. And I think you'll notice different parts of the game too, or the leveling experience, where some will be easier and some will be harder. So just having the access to the different stats is just really nice. And obviously, the game's intention in the long run is of course for you to have
Will you aid the horse
have
lords?
every virtue maxed out, which is definitely a journey for sure. But yeah, having those 5 to 7 I think is the most important. What those
your
end
help,
up
my
being
friend.
is totally up to you. Oh, and then we need to complete. Alrighty. Well then. I think we will call it here for today. I've got some company coming over soon. So kind of got to do some cleaning and prepping before people come over. But we will be back tomorrow and we will just continue our Rohan adventures. We completed 2 little quest hubs today. So maybe tomorrow what we'll do is I'll stream for a little bit longer tomorrow, and maybe we can just get this entire Eastfold zone done. And we'll definitely be 95. Maybe we'll be close to 96. Might even be 96 since we'll have the massive experience buff. And then from there I'll decide if we just go to Gondor and level, or if we'll just continue in Rohan. Because it won't really matter which path we take. But yeah, I thank you to those that stopped by and said hello. I appreciate you all. And, oh, I guess, reminder that next Saturday, so we're still doing Lotro tomorrow, but next Saturday we are starting Star Wars Zero Company. So starting next Saturday, Saturdays will then be Star Wars Zero Company. I will still do Lotro on Sundays, so like today, or sorry, like tomorrow, and I then might end up moving or having streams on Fridays occasionally for Lotro once the legendary servers get their update, so that I don't miss out on that second day of Lotro. But yeah, I wanted to mix it up a bit and give I know there's some people in the community that want to see the Star Wars game that's coming out that can't make it to my normal weekday streams that I stream in the evening. So that's why I am making that change. We're starting next week. On Saturdays, we'll be streaming Star Wars. But yeah, thanks for coming by, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.